welcome along to... Because, Paul, you have real affinity to Britain. Is your family all British?
Yes. Yeah, both my parents are from London. And,
wow.
You're ours! Yeah!
I'm the first American in my family. And I've been coming here my whole life, so I feel very, very much at home. And
So this is old hat, is what you're saying? No sense of excitement at all?
no, not at all. This is very exciting, even more so.
Yeah.
Even more so.
Where's your family from? Which part of the world? I mean, England.
My dad was Edgware, and my...
London boy, London boy.
Wait a second, that got a little... Ooh.
Yeah,
Edgware.
And then my mom was Surrey, grew up in Chiswick, Surbiton.
Chiswick, I was born in Chiswick.
Surbiton is huge. And it's lovely to have you here, Leslie.
Thank you.
But this is a question of why you are here. Because didn't a psychic tell you not to travel?
Yes, a psychic told me not to fly, text and drive, or drive on curvy roads.
While texting?
While texting.
Sounds like a very bad psychic. Anybody can...
Don't jump off a cliff.
But she really scared me. She scared me, and I was so, I didn't want to leave the house. And but now I feel like, I want to rebel against the psychic and just do all these things and be like, screw you, psychic. I'm gonna fly. And I feel like if I talk about it enough, that it won't happen. Is that a terrible thing to say? Was that...
I know. You've got to fly home, yeah. So far, so good. This program is dedicated to...
I'm glad I'm on a different flight.
You still suffer from stage fright?
Yes, of course. You've just come off the stage, I understand. You've been doing... Were you shit scared?
Yeah, and even up until the last show, I would get nervous to start, and there's that 5 minutes and places.
Yeah.
Hearing places is just the worst feeling in the world when you're waiting in the wings, getting ready to start.
Have you done stage, Leslie?
I haven't. But we were talking about how we were nervous to come out here. Anytime you go in front of an audience, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And lots of people have been on the couch and have told me things that went wrong on stage or things that went wrong in the audience. But the play you did, was it Grace?
Grace, yeah.
Grace. There was an audience incident that what a doozy, and you pray this doesn't happen.
Oh, tell me what happened?
Well, I was getting ready. I was just about to start a monologue, and I heard there were 3 of us on stage, and there was some commotion, and I thought, ooh, did somebody's cell phone go off? And the commotion usually dies down. It didn't die down. It was getting louder. People started arguing and saying things in full voice.
Out in the audience?
Out in the audience, and to the point when it was really rattling, and I didn't know whether or not to stop the play because I thought maybe somebody was it was some sort of medical emergency. But I just didn't know what to do, so I just kept talking and pretended it wasn't happening.
Fourth wall.
But it was very clear that I was getting thrown, as we all were. And then Michael Shannon, the actor Michael Shannon, who was in the play with me, got to his section and just started screaming his lines in the direction of the noise, which had now been going on for about a full minute. And then he's such a terrifying figure anyway. He scared everybody, and it got very quiet. I then, at the end of the scene, went off stage to ask what happened, and it turned out that somebody in the front row of the mezzanine was drunk and went,
Oh, my God!
and threw up on about 20 people in the orchestra. And the commotion were the people standing up, covered in vomit, and wondering how they were gonna. Yeah, so that.
My Maltesers are warm.
That was a first.
Because I thought, Paul, you would look more... Because you're preparing for Anchorman.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were going with that.
No. I just thought...
You thought it would maybe a little more clean cut or something?
Or just kind of a bit more,
put together?
No, because, because the Anchorman hair is quite...
Yeah,
quite an event.
It's we start shooting Anchorman 2. That's from Anchorman, and I'm trying to recapture that, unfortunately.
that all your hair?
That was all my hair and a real mustache and sideburns and.
How did they get it? It's so.
Fabulous. Yeah, but that was all real. So I've been trying because we're going to start shooting in a few weeks.
And are you all back together again in it?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it true the last time you were on the show, you did a spoiler for the first one?
Well, the last time that we spoke and I was on your show, it was I was here talking about Anchorman, and I had this story that I say in the movie that I have a nickname for it's so weird to even say it out loud. A nickname for my penis, and it's called the Octagon. But I also have a nickname for my testicles, and that the left one is James Westfall, and the right one is Dr. Kenneth Noisewater. And James...
Quite a mouthful.
You said it, not me. Well, James Westfall was my roommate in college. And I thought, I'm just going to say that, and I'm not going to tell him. So that when he sees the movie on opening day, which I knew he would, that'll be a nice surprise for him. So I told the story, not really putting it together that the show would air the night before the movie opened. And the show aired, and then everybody started calling James, saying, did you watch Graham Norton? He was talking about you. And I felt like I, was carrying a football and fumbled on the 1 yard line. I really timed it poorly.
A lot of guests forget it's going to be on television. Even I forget it's actually going to air. It seems so unlikely. And what also was, because your husband's directing you, but he keeps, in every movie, encouraging you to, cop off with other people.
I know. Yeah. What's that about?
I don't know. Is he trying to stray you?
He does encourage that. And feels
fascinating
very
psychological study.
Yeah, because actors are always a bit honest. But I heard you talking, and you were very honest about how excited you were to kiss Zack Efron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which is what a great thing.
Well, not in a creepy way, a little bit.
We all get it. We all get it.
He was very young at the time, but my daughter.
Then it's okay.
He was weak. I could pin him down.
I had a steamy sex scene in Love Ranch that Taylor directed. Yes, that was one of them. Well, you know what those scenes are like. They're so technical. Mm-hmm. There's 120 people on the set anyway. It's something. No, don't put your leg there. And put your hand here, and I'm going to shoot it this way. And it just becomes just a what's the word? A sort of mathematical thing to work out. But I know that the actor was absolutely mortified. And he was really worried about it. But of course, it was absolutely fine. But
it must be kind of, in terms of going to work, it's quite a nice thing to do, isn't it? Sometimes here's the thing. You get to kiss some hot Hollywood actor.
I always hear actors say what you just said. It's technical. There's a crew.
That's just what we say.
And I just go, what? That's not true at all. It's awesome. I mean, come on. That isn't, it's not too bad.
Because your kids were thrilled about the Zac Efron thing.
Yes. Zack kissed me, and I came home from work, and my daughter Maud ran up to me and licked my face. She could taste Zack's spit.
His minty spit. Because, Helen, I read somewhere you talked about your least favourite kisser was, but I won't ask about that. But who was your best?
Please don't go there. The best kisser? Ooh, gosh, what a difficult question. You mean stage kiss? Theatre. I mean, acting kisser.
It's all kissing.
No, it's not really. Because, that's what we so often as actors, especially actually more in the theatre, but also in auditions for, film things, you walk in and, you have to immediately be very intimate. If it's not actually kissing, it's touching, it's hugging with someone who you've literally met 30 seconds ago. So, we get to be able to do that. Things that other people would just feel so embarrassed and weird. We have to be able to go there very quickly.
And it's really hard. It's really awful, isn't it?
That is very strange, though. When you, it's like you're done kissing somebody. Hi, I'm Paul. It is a very weird.
But Paul, your longest screen kiss was with someone very unlikely, wasn't it?
The most kisses I've had in a movie was with your hero, Jack Nicholson. Of all the,
Jack?
many times.
Can I lick your face?
Please do. He played my father in a film called How Do You Know, and the relationship that we had, that James L. Brooks, the director, wanted to portray was that of a very loving father and son. And no matter what kind of stress we were under or what the conflict in our relationship was, we would always kiss each other hello and goodbye. And James Brooks likes to film a scene 70 times, if need be, or even if you don't need to, he'll still do it. So we just would always kiss.
On the lips?
Mm-hmm. It was great. But when I first met him, I was going to rehearse with Jack Nicholson, and I was very nervous because I'd never seen the man in person, let alone, you know, had never met him, and I was a huge fan. And when he showed up to the rehearsal, he walked in, he looked at me, grabbed me.
Wait, so you don't get any lipstick on it?
So this is what Jack Nicholson did. I was sitting on the couch. You're me, I'll be Jack Nicholson. And he came in, excuse me, Leslie.
Okay.
He came in, he walked in, he's...
Leslie, she's like a gooseberry down the end.
Yes, you don't want my disease.
You've a cold, you've a cold.
I know.
Back off, lady.
He really did that.
How old were you?
This was just a couple of years ago. And it was one of the greatest moments of my life.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah.
I bet it was. Now,
And mine.
And mine right now.